Bah, wrong. Not right. Inaccurate. Ineffective. Keep watching.
Never cry in front of your girl. When you cry in front of your girl, what you're doing is you're triggering this carnal feeling in them where you're displaying that you are not an adequate mate. Joe Rogan famously had this girl on, forget her name, but who cares, she's a female. But she was dating a UFC fighter, and she said that I was seeing him get beat up in a cage, and it was over for me at that point. The reason why is because she saw another man dominating her man. Even though this guy's a top 1% fighter, he could beat up 99% of men. But it's another thing for women to see you getting beat up. And then they're like, oh shit, my safety. It's like jeopardized now. Like, this guy can get beat up. You need to be that superhero for her. To give guys an example, that's like you see your girl go. You would never have the same respect for her. You'd be like, what the f***, this bitch? Same thing. Crying in front of her, whatever. It triggers this carnal, cerebral thing in her head where she's like, this guy can't protect me. I need to leave. Women always look at men from a strength perspective. You're supposed to be the leader. When the push comes to shove, someone breaks in the house, you need to be the man and handle it. You make the decisions. You don't need her advice. Don't get beat up in front of her. Don't cry in front of her. You want to cry? Cool. Go cry in front of your friends because they can actually probably help you.
Some truth to what he shared. Most of it's bullshit. He lost me when he said, who cares? She's a woman. Credibility gone. Anyway, I'll continue. The truth aspect of this is that going to your friends to look for support and going to your peer group to look for support is actually really important. For a man particularly, first port of call is to go within when we're facing a problem or a challenge. Next, it can be to your peers to have sincere reflection, for them to be able to see the forest through the trees that you cannot see. And that can be actually really useful. In terms of men are meant to be the leader and men are meant to be strong, sure, masculine leadership and masculine strength is a very real thing. What else is very real is masculine range. There's actually nothing more attractive than a man that can touch the depths of his feelings in real time and be genuine with it, not inauthentic and being vulnerable for attention or that vulnerability coming from a deeper sense of inadequacy or insecurity, but just genuine realness in the moment. And then the next moment, tap into his strength and his power and his prowess. That man knows that he can be himself and he doesn't consider that weak because he knows who he is. He trusts himself, he backs himself, he knows the strength that he holds. The other point here is that there's always going to be someone bigger, better, stronger, tougher, etc. Trying to compete with the world is the ego's way of attempting to stay relevant and dominating, because that part of that individual feels so weak and so scared that the only way they can feel some sense of superiority or aliveness is to dominate others, or to at least have that perception that usually comes with control and manipulation. So what this guy is talking to me, inaccurate for most of it. When it comes to relationships, being real goes a very long way. If as a man, you're constantly crying, you're constantly in despair, you're constantly incapacitated, you're constantly in desperation and depression, yes, that will affect polarity, that will affect attraction, that will affect intimacy deeply. And that woman probably won't know how to trust you. The inconsistency there, or the consistency in uncertainty and despair, will rattle her, absolutely. But if you have moments of vulnerability that are real, she knows the core of who you are, but more importantly, you as a man know the core of who you are. There's nothing wrong with that. And having that range where you can express in all different ways will not have your woman wanting to leave you. It may activate something physiological and biological within her, but if you're both mature adults, you'll work through that together. And if she's leaving you because of that, then maybe the relationship isn't worth keeping.